programming in C# and ASP.NET. This is Mr. Wilson, your instructor and guide as we take a closer look at C# and ASP.NET. CS ASP 023, Understanding Multidimensional Arrays. So when we look at multidimensional arrays, in this example, we're going to look at doing a program that will tell us what the cost is for us to do travel. So, we would have multiple cities in going from and to for this example that we're going to work here. So in understanding multidimensional arrays, as in a regular array, we looked at an index starting at 0 and going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to whatever number that we set it at. In a multidimensional array, we are actually setting up two different arrays here. So, and the arrays go from 0, 1, 2, and then also go comma 0, comma 1, comma 2. And so here we actually, by putting in 3, comma 3, when we set the array up, we would actually be making a 9-box array, starting at 0 and ending at 2, and starting at 0 and ending at 2. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's go to Visual Studios and let's see how this works.
Hey there, gang. As you can see, I have pulled up a pre-made application here. You can, if there's a link, you can download it. If not, just build it. It's not a big deal. Just so you kind of know, the checkboxes are named checkbox, and this one says from Chicago, from New York, from Atlanta, and these say to Chicago, to New York, to Atlanta, a result label, and a button. That's all that's really in this. And what we're talking about today is we're going to talk about multi-dimensional arrays. How can I use arrays when I want to put multiple pieces of information in there and to be able to get those out. So we're going to come back over here. I've already got the button click set up, and let's look at going in here. Okay, so multi-dimensional arrays, how they differ. They're exactly the same as regular arrays. And one of the things that seems to be common in computer science, especially at college, they like to talk about multidimensional arrays and how that data is used. I don't find that we use multidimensional arrays a whole lot in programming, but you still have to kind of know about it. It's something that you should know something about while you're learning about programming. So let's start off with let's just create an array, and let's create it in the let's create it up here. And so if I come in and I say double and then I'm going to create the array, and then let's call it price grid. Okay, and then equals new double, and then now this is not curly brackets, hard brackets. This is where the multi-dimensional array looks different than the regular array. And if you remember over on the front page, we had three items: 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to put 3, comma 3. All right. And oh, I forgot. The reason why I got a red squiggly line, and this is a good lesson, is that we need a comma in here. Because in there we told it that, hey, this is going to be up here. It says, hey, that's a double array called price grid. And here we have the comma and the different ones. So now we've really kind of created 9 separate boxes where this kind of information can be, okay? And so we're going to say price grid, and let's put this here, and let's say they're flying from Chicago, which is 0, comma 1. And let's say that equals 350. Okay? And then we say price grid, hard boxes, 0, comma 2. And that equals, let's say, 700. And then price. Now, of course, you would not do 0, comma 0, because you would never fly from Chicago to Chicago. So that's something we would not have in here. There won't be any information in there. And so 1, comma 0, 0, and sorry, and equals, and let's say that's 400. Okay, and semicolon, and then let's say price grid. You guys are probably getting the idea already. Comma and 2, and equals, and let's say 550. The numbers are unimportant, to be real honest. Okay, finally, price grid, and 2, comma 0, equals 375. And price grid 2, comma 1 equals 500. Okay, then we say to ourselves, okay, did this work? So let's do this. Let's say let's see, label. Let's see, we've got 4 labels. I should have named my label label 3. Okay, we're just going to leave it that way. This is just an easy dot, and we want text. Nope. Content equals, And then let's just put one of these in there to see if this worked. Let's say price grid. Price grid, our hard boxes, and let's say 1 comma 2. Okay. And we'll probably have to do that to string. Okay. So if we've done that and we've done it correctly, then we should be able to run this. And we say it doesn't matter what we say. But look, it went ahead and it gave us the 550. So it worked right off the load. We didn't have to push the button or anything because that wasn't in the button click. It was actually outside of there. Okay, so we know it is putting the amount in the into our array. So we've checked that. Now, one of the problems is if I come down here and I try to write in price grid, watch what happens. It doesn't know what price grid is. And so you have to ask yourself, okay, so since price grid is declared inside these parentheses, both inside those curly brackets in there, it does not exist outside of this, and that's called scope. We're going to talk about that a little later. So we're going to do something just a little different here. Let's say we were to take this code right here, and let's get rid of it. Okay, and then let's come up here and let's put price grid and grid. And, oh, I'm sorry. We need to say double. Double price grid. And let's make it a, just like that. And now that is a variable that is outside of these curly brackets. And we need to put a comma in there. I do need to do that. Okay. And now notice that red squiggly line went away. So if we come here, let's just get rid of this. Okay. If we go there, so if we go right there, we're going to come down here to our button click. All right. And in our button click, now we want to, we've set up our array. And now we want to actually use it with the checkboxes. So if we say int, int, and let's call let's say from city. Okay. From city. And then we say if, and remember tab, okay, if from city, nope, sorry, if checkbox from Chicago dot is checked, tab, then we're going to say, and since this is a simple, simple decision, we can actually get rid of these curly boxes. Is checked. I think we can just say checked. Can I say that? Okay, so if checkbox from Chicago is checked, then from city equals 0. Okay, so then else if uh, checkbox from New York dot is checked equals true. From city equals 1. Else and so if it's not either of those, then it's got to be equal to 2. And we're going to do the exact same thing for the 2 box. So we're going to come back in here and we're going to say checkbox to Chicago dot is checked equals true. Then, oh, I'm sorry. We need to add a int for 2 city and so let's go down here and let's say 2 city equals and then 0. And we're going to do the exact same thing down here. We're just going to do it in those other variables. To city equals 1 and else. Okay, so we've filled from city with 0, 1, or 2, and we have filled to city with a 0, a 1, or a 2, And now we're ready to just build a little bit of decision-making code that will help us answer our question then. So we're going to come down here and we're going to say if, tab, if we want to check from city, right there, is equal to city. So if they're equal, then we're going to have it. We don't need these. Return. In fact, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's do put those in there, and let's say return and let's say result label. Nope, we called it label 3, didn't we? Label 3 dot content equals, and then we're just going to say that's null, that there's nothing in there, and that'll clear that box out. Okay. Else, and then in our else, we're going to say else result. No, it's not. Just called label 3. Equals, and we're going to have our array, which is price grid, and it is going to be the boxes, and we're going to say from city, comma, and to city. Not sure if I have to. Yeah, I think I have to. I think I have to do that to string. Dot to string. Yeah. I think so. I think that's true. For some reason I'm seeing a little green. So let's go up here. I'm going to hit the build. It says build succeeded. Let's see if we run it. Okay, there's one thing I've got to fix here. Up here, I have added price grid equals new double 3x3. Okay, so make sure that you've got that added, and if you've added that, Remember, of course, you have this up here where we just set it, but we didn't put any numbers in here so that we could add these numbers later in our program. And then down here we're checking the check boxes and then adding the numbers in, okay? And then we're printing it out. So let's go ahead and let's just build it just to make sure there's no problems. That says rebuild all succeeded. So we can click this and run it. And here is our application window. Let's try from Chicago to New York. It gives us a price. Let's unclick New York. Let's try Atlanta, and gives us a price. So we could go through and do all of these. You would not want to leave two of these and clicked at the same time. And we know that if we do New York to New York, that it won't run, okay? Because we put some code in there for that. All right, so let's go ahead and close that, and so that does what we wanted it to do, and hopefully that gave you a little better understanding of multi-dimensional arrays. Like I said, we don't use them a huge amount. Once in a great while, they come in handy, but generally we're not going to use them a lot. They love to use them at college, so when you go on to other kinds of study, this will probably be one of the harder things that they'll actually have. So if you already understand this and know this, you're going to be very happy with that. You're probably looking at the middle to end of a college semester to get into multi-dimensional arrays. Okay. So anyway, that's we're going to go ahead and go back to the slides.
Our next video will be CS ASP 024, changing an array. I look forward to seeing you there.